I think we can start. People will keep joining. Over to you, Dr. Preeti.
Fine, sir. Ma'am is here, sir. Shweta ma'am is here.
Ma'am.
With
Yes,
you,
yes, yes, yes. She's here. Yeah.
start.
Yes, yes. You can start.
Okay. Jai Hind, everyone. This is Dr. Preeti Singh, Assistant Professor from Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut. Again with you in this series of capacity building program. In this program, we are exploring Indian knowledge system and aligning Indian knowledge system with all the subjects. Today, we are going to explore Indian knowledge system and economics. On that topic, for the discussion, we have with us Dr. Shweta Mohan. Ma'am, we welcome you in this session with a big round of applause on this online site. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. And now I would like to say few of words related to you because it's our privilege and it's our क्या कहें कि ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज हमें आपको सुनने का मौका मिलेगा इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम और इकोनॉमिक्स को हम कैसे कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं उसको हम डिटेल में जान पाएंगे सो पार्टिसिपेंट्स टुडे वी हैव श्वेता मोहन मैम शी इज एन असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स इन नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ University of Study and Research in Law, Ranchi since 2010. She has served as acting Vice Chancellor of National University of Study and Research in Law, Ranchi from September 2013 to February 2014. She has extensively researched on law and economics. She has completed her doctoral research from Chanakya National Law University, Patna. She is the editor of many books like Mental Health and Legal Rights, Recent Trends in Law and Economics, Economic Analysis of Law, Legal Regulation of Agriculture, Procurement and Processing in India. Along with that, she has also supervising the student. She has also completed major project on land governance assessment framework sponsored by World Bank. She has shouldered various administrative responsibility. Again, we welcome you, ma'am, in this session, and the floor is for you, and we are ready to explore about Indian knowledge system and economics.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving such a wonderful introduction of mine. A lot of things has to be taken care of while when you work for yourself and your interest. But at the outset, I would first like to thank Law Teachers India, particularly Kalpesh sir and RGNLU for again giving me an opportunity to stand amongst you. I'm one amongst you, those who are on the online capacity building program. The only difference is you are at the other side and I'm at this side. You all may be one of, while taking this capacity building, you may be a resource person for some time. It is very much possible. Madam, this is the second time or Kalpesh sir has given me this opportunity. And to be very honest, I would say that this initiative is very much required in the present scenario, the Indian knowledge system. And most prominently, what I would say is that Kalpesh sir has expanded his boundary from law to other discipline. That is very much commendable because right now when you see after COVID, it is all about harmonious existence. So no discipline can work in isolation. And when we talk about law, so law cannot be dealt in isolation. This is what I have to say. So 15 years of teaching experience, when I discuss with my student, we come to a conclusion that no discipline is isolated. There are branches, anyways, they are linked to each other. So today I would just focus on what exactly is IKS in the realm of economics, because already people are there, good speakers are there who have dealt or who had been dealing with what exactly is the Indian traditional knowledge, right? So let me allow myself to share with you whatever I have learned through my experience and through reading out Indian knowledge system. I'm just resuming to share my PPT, madam. Just let me know. Visible, ma'am?
Ma'am, yes, it is visible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So to start with, we are a people who say that we have a very rich and ancient history. So just to start, I would say that introduction to Indian knowledge system will come under one line or one shlok, that is Vidya Dhanam Sarv Dhan Pradhanam. That is, the wealth of knowledge is the most important among all the wealth. We cannot deny it. And we are the one who practice, earn our livelihood from this knowledge. So just taking to the origin of Indian knowledge system, we know that lot of things that right now we are discussing are very primitive, and they have their origin from the ancient history, right? So whether I talk about Jan Vigyan or Jivan Darshan, it's a philosophy, right? It's all about our observation, experimentation, and our rigorous analysis. So, time immemorial, we are talking about how tradition, knowledge, observation, and rigorous analysis have been transformed from one generation to another generation. This is all about. And when you read out things, you'll come to know that during the time of the uh, knowledge system, it was not that writing was one of the prominent part. It was only the memorization. The gurus, they were giving the lectures or the knowledge or the tradition or the experiment to his students through memorization. So this form of knowledge, you say it's an Indian knowledge system. Now, what were those Indian knowledge system with respect to? So the tradition of putting education, art, administration, or law, health, manufacturing, everything came under the sphere of this memorizing and then sharing it or passing it to one generation to the another generation. Now, when we talk about Indian knowledge system specific to our education, it has become very important, and credit goes to the initiative that the Law Teachers India and RJ and has taken to bringing it to the main picture or the front desk of the observers or academicians or any part of the various stakeholders, right? So Indian knowledge system, I would say, is very significant. Why? Because it transforms, it values the socio-economic ethos of our country. All our economic, societal norms, political thinking, they're all based on the traditional knowledge. Now, in order to understand how it all started, I hope, and I'm pretty sure that the previous resource person must have dealt along. But just for a quick recap, I would say you can divide this period into four terms, right? The Vedic period, from where we take the origin of everything. So, what was the foundation of Indian knowledge system? The Vedas. Anywhere when we write a research paper, memorandum, or article, or even student prepare their memos, or the chief justice or judicial officer, they prepare their judgment, they refer to these Vedas, right? So Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved, and Arthved, they are the earliest source of Indian knowledge system, and that too composed in Sanskrit. Now, what was the tradition? As I said, it was the oral knowledge which was transmitted from one century to another through rigorous system of memorization. Memorize and then pass it on to next generation. Now, what was the domain of the knowledge? You say philosophy, dharma, karma, moksha, then science, mathematics, medicine. It was enormous that we can say, right? It all started with the philosophy. It went to the duty, then it came to the action, then it came to liberation. At the end, we are Indian people. We think about liberating ourselves at the last. Or some people, they take liberation in the very early. So this Vedic period is very foundational in terms of Indian knowledge system. Now, coming to the next, what you say, period is post-Vedic, or what you say, classical period. Then again, you see the Indian knowledge system very much present. There we saw in Vedas, here we say in Upanishad, philosophical text, right? And when you read Indian philosophy, you come to the darshan. What is the philosophy? The know-how. What is the logic? How do we see things, perceive things, analyze, and then bringing back to the society? So those six schools of knowledge, that is Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Samakhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, Vedanta, all these are very much foundational in incorporating the Indian knowledge system. Now, when we talk about this, I just am trying to bring not only the concept of economics, but various people who have enriched this Indian knowledge system. We cannot ignore the contribution of Aryabhatta, Brahmagupta, and Bhaskar. They're all uh, a legend of mathematician who gave the idea of zero, geometry, pi, the unit, the meaning of pi, right? The square root, all these people. Just imagine that during the 500 BC, these people had the idea of what exactly the prime number, what is zero, what is decimal, where to put decimal. We can just imagine their ability and capability to perceive what exactly was mathematics or maths, right? Now, talking about maths, let's talk about medicine and health. Chakra Samhita, Sushrut Samhita, we refer to it. Great people who have done a lot of things on the health and medicine, right? When we talk about literature, we cannot deny, because we were talking about that, yes, Indian knowledge system is not related to one subject, one idea, one darshan. It is very vast. So literature, Panini's Ashtadhyayi is very, very important when you talk about literary work and all those things. So this from Vedic period to post-Vedic and to medieval period, what we see? Medieval period, we see that yes, mathematics, astronomy, medicines, they were at their prime. Even at that point of time, the Bhakti and the Sufi movements, right? Still we recite the hymns, still we sing this, the prayers, the people who were in the Bhakti movement have written that. Now, colonial period, after the medieval and colonial period and the modern period, what we see, when the Britishers were there, they all brought in the Western education system, right? And their idea was Western science and education. So we were the one who was taking the idea, because it was very, what you say, flexible, and we were incorporating it. It does not mean that we were denying the existence of the Indian knowledge system. Rather, we were in the mood to take it the Western education and science. At the same time, people were there like Swami Vivekananda, Sri Aurobindo, and Mahatma Gandhi, who emphasized the role of Indian tradition. Now, post-independence, what we see, we have started to put our effort to integrate IKS in modern research and education. I would say that if you refer to the literature of World Bank, you would see in 1996 itself, the World Bank started to incorporate the IKS. Why? Because the working group of World Bank found that Indian knowledge system is a system which can help sustainable development, which can help local people evolve themselves for time immemorial, and which can lead to inclusive growth and development. And you know, in 1997 in Toronto, they had this conference of Indian, the IKS, right? Since then, a lot of things have been taken under care of World Bank to incorporate the Indian knowledge system. Now, why all are we attending this program? What is the relevance of this? As I said, it's inclusive, accessible, it is placed where it can incorporate the, what you say, ancient and internal knowledge of India. And very importantly, when we talk about law, it's through NEP that we have to follow it. we have to incorporate, and then we have to make it so much available that it helps us in integrating and ensuring that our ancient system has transmitted a lot, and it had given a unique perspective which is very much relevant in today's world. This is the core idea of IKS. And I believe every one of us are very much acquainted with it, right? Now, what we say is uh, why why it is important, the Indian knowledge system. It is important, as I said, one of the common basic knowledge to provide an equal opportunity and to value of all of us, groups, communities, institution as a whole. So it's important. Now, coming to the next thing, that is uh, what we say is Indian knowledge system is uh, how Indian knowledge system is related with economics, right? Now, Indian knowledge system and economics. Most of you must have understood economics as a study of finance or study of money, but I would say that economics is a study of social behavior, of human behavior, not only social. First and foremost, economics is a study of human behavior. How do we behave with limited resources? How are we behaving? A very basic example, I would say that we all of us are sitting here sharp at 7 evening. Why? Because there is a limit to our time. All of us are working. We have various assignments, our personal duties, professional duties. We are doing it, and then we are taking out time, managing to be a part of this such a wonderful program. This is human behavior. For me, being a part of this initiative is a certificate, a word of appreciation, and that would obviously help me enhance my CV. For you as well, it is an appreciation, a course that you have gone through, a certificate, and then an addition to your API, right? Am I right? You must agree with me. Yes or no? Of course, yes. Right? So, how knowledge and economics are related with each other? So, I would say that knowledge and economics, they are very much related with each other. Reason being, the entire economy is based upon the various factors that provide service or livelihood or human capital, natural resources, everything. Uh, we are talking about capital. We are human capital. We are capital that is going to add to the growth and development. What the kind of growth and development? It is the socio-economic growth and development that we are going to add. Likewise, I am a part of this initiative. You all are also part of this initiative, right? It's limited, and we need to transmit it to different corners of the world. So here, knowledge economy, wherein knowledge-based economy becomes a key factor, a driving key resource in growth and development. किसका growth? तो ये हमारा growth नहीं, ये पूरे society का growth, ये पूरे इकोनॉमी का ग्रोथ होगा जब हम नॉलेज बेस्ड इकोनॉमी के बारे में अगर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करते हैं तो पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर ऑफ दिस सोसाइटी, बट जब नॉलेज की बात करते हैं तो आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट जन विज्ञान एंड जीवन दर्शन, राइट? द एंटायर फिलॉसफी that at the end we want to have what? Liberation, right? So this is knowledge economy. Now, how are we going to transcend? This can be done through technical progress, technological progress. Right now, it is technology. I'm sitting in Ranchi. You all are from different corners of the country. We are all at one platform at one time, that we are exchanging our ideas about this beautiful topic, that is the Indian knowledge system. Now, knowledge again is a driver, and again, technology is very much important to develop or to delve in research. And this technology always brings development. This technology, I want to pursue an online MBA course from any of the, what you say, the foreign institution. So what is easy for me right now? It is easy for me to just have Cisco WebEx, right? Or any Zoom platform from where I can, or LMS platform where I can attend the recorded video lectures, have my assessment done, and get the certificate. So it is the technology in the 21st world. And this technology is bringing what? Economics. That is, it is bringing us opportunities with limited resources, right? So what we see here is technological progress, another element of economics. Now, when you are a person associated with law, a very important thing is there, that is the efficiency criteria. You must agree with me. Everything, all the resources are limited. And in economics, when we discuss about resources, their management, we see how efficiently it is distributed or used so that it can best serve the common people, right? So when a law person, a person having a knowledge of law graduate, law student, or any person who is associated with law, the whole idea rests on how to increase the efficiency of the present legal rules or policies. That means whether this present laws or regulation, they are adding to the upliftment of the society, they are adding to the, what you say, opportunity of the society, or not. How efficiently, that is, how nicely, or how technically, how uh, intellectually they are using the present things, present resources, so that the best comes out. That is optimum utilization of resources. What is it? I gave you an example, optimum utilization of resources. We are doing it. Many of you must be listening to me, and you must be doing other work as well, because you have this limited boundary of time, right? That doesn't mean you are not listening to me. That doesn't mean you're not doing the review. So you are optimizing this 7 to 8 time, right? So economic efficiency becomes very, very important in all the, what you say, growth development targets, employment, uh, capacity building, everything. These three are the pillars of Indian knowledge system, knowledge-based economy, technological progress, and economic efficiency, which time immemorials they are right now coming to us. Why I say this? I say this because I am going to refer to one of the very foundational treatise that is written by Kautilya. You know, it's an Arthashastra. So I was just reading to take some references which are very relevant in today's world. Just to read out, it is written that Praja Sukhe Sukham Yagya, Prajanam cha hite hitam, Natmam priyam hitam yagya, Prajanam tu priyam hitam. Meaning by, in the happiness of his subject lies the king's happiness. In their welfare is the welfare. He shall not consider as good only that which pleases him, but treats beneficial to the people whatever pleases his subject. Meaning by, this book, the Kautilya, the Arthashastra by Kautilya, is a magnificent treatise which has delved deep into the idea of politics and economics, or what you say, political economy, or what you say, administration, what you say, law, what you say, justice, each and everything, right? So there are more than 3,000 verses on the, initially it was written. Now this is an Kautilya Arthashastra by Penguin Classics. Okay, Dr. Ratnagiri has written it. Yes, sorry, Dr. L. Rangarajan has, what you say, edited this book and he has brought it. Now, why I'm referring to the interface of Indian traditional knowledge and economics? Because the Indian traditional knowledge and economics written by Kautilya, it talks about that we as a people, as an individual, aim to all the four, what you say, earth, kam, moksha, right? We want to earn it, we want to use it, and then we want to liberate ourselves. How are we going to do this? And this entire Arthashastra is a specimen to be then kings who should practice their, what you say, uh, ideas or their principle in order to provide maximum benefit to their praja or their people. Now, what are the significant ideas of Kautilya? Okay, so when we talk about the significant ideas of Kautilya, he would say that this idea is all about what is the dharma of the king. Here we say what is the dharma or what is the principle or agenda of the government. Just see, the idea is same. Which should be fair and liberal. Yes, we are talking about constitutional way of running the country, right? At that point of time, it was monarchy. Here it is the center and the state. So how liberal and fair the ideas are of the government to rule the country, right? Which is more relevant right now. But the genesis is from the past, 4th BC, right? The dharma is what you talk about, understanding political executive in the current era, or dharma or righteousness. What is the right thing to do? We look towards the judiciary. At that point of time, the king was there. Here we see to the judiciary. We have state, we have executive, and then we have judiciary. Of course, the fourth pillar, media is also there. But when we talk about justice, when we talk about righteousness, we look towards the judiciary. Now, how significant the economic ideas of Kautilya or Chandragupta, Vishnugupta has been is that when you read the book, you come across that he has started with what is the role of the king in the welfare. Welfare is the key note of the entire book. And we are a welfare state. India is a welfare state where you see DPSP, Directive Principles of the State Policy, that they are aligned with the welfare policies that the state has to carry forward. It is the onus of the state which has to take. You can name anything, right? I may talk about right to food, right to education, midday meal scheme. If I talk about here in state, so several policies run by the government. It's Ujjwala Yojana, Har Jal Ghar, okay, or the employment policy Manrega, right, or the education fellowship, anything. Why? Because in the society there are people who are vulnerable. So in order to bring them to the mainstream and to provide them basic living standard with dignity, welfare is a key concept. This welfare was very much key concept in the time of Mauryan Empire, Gupta's empire, right? So Kautilya, he says that first the king should have proper infrastructure. Proper infrastructure. Now we are talking about Kautilya, we are talking about Chandragupta, and then we are talking about right now what we are facing. So you can see the idea of Nanda dynasty, you can see the idea of Kautilya, which is very much relevant in today's world. Can you just let me know how it is relevant, development of infrastructure? Do you think it's important? Any one of you? Can you answer this? Any one of you? How infrastructure is important? I'm just waiting for the answer if anyone can answer.
Yes, participant, please raise your hand or put the response in the chat box. Anyone?
Yes, Manish sir. Yes, Prashant sir, what is your idea about this infrastructure in present world?
And commerce. Good
Yes, trade and
infrastructure
commerce.
is very important for trade and commerce.
Right, because superstructure. I would simply say that infrastructure is the, yes, absolutely, backbone of the economic growth. If you don't have proper roads, dam, connectivity, bridge, electricity, how are you going to manufacture things? How are you going to transport one good from one state to another or one country to another? You can't do it. And if you do not have proper infrastructure, what would happen then? Nobody will be willing to invest in your country. Nobody will be willing to promote your country with economic, what you say, opportunities. So a better connectivity of railways, roads, they are very much important. I'm talking about infrastructure, rails and railways and roads. Have you been to the newspaper looking at people? They lose their lives because there was not proper, in the lack of proper infrastructure, roads were not there, proper infrastructure, hospitals are not there, proper infrastructure, good government education system is not there in the rural sector. Can you relate it? Yes. So when we talk about, when we even want to travel, right, I want to travel the entire country, so whether we have the better infrastructure, so when you, yes, human life, so when you have better infrastructure, you are very happy. Happy in the sense you are contented, in the sense optimum utilization of resources. ठीक है, मुझे ट्रैवल करना है झारखंड से ओडिशा, right? So I will take the NH. Government has done a lot, making what? Golden quadrilateral. So there are expressways. The only thing is, yes, 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 China one. The only thing is, I have to spend as a tax. Okay, using the infrastructure, the rails, the roads, the dams, the bridges, I will have to spend my money, because the government has to maintain the, what you say, the basic infrastructure, right? So it's easy. All of us want to do beautiful roads, good connectivity. You can send things, you can bring things, and this connectivity of the roads or railways, right? They give better opportunities to employment, and very much prominent in India is employment. When you go to the newspaper, you will say the highest 5.6 employment rate, unemployment rate. So still we are striving to get the employment rate. So significance of quarterly on development of infrastructure is directly related with demand and supply. How do we demand? हम डिमांड कर रहे हैं, हमें चाहिए कश्मीर का सेब, लेकिन क्या वो हमारे पास आ पा रहा है सही स्थिति में, या it's, is it the same thing that is coming, or it's rotten because the roads were not good, it was perishable, so by the time it reaches to the market, it is what, not in the condition where we can buy. So development of infrastructure, even when you look at to World Bank, IDBI, or the rating agencies, they would say that, yes, they would say that infrastructure is the nerve of the economy. Infrastructure के ऊपर ही सारा कुछ बना है। आप गुजरात को ले लीजिए, Kalpesh sir would agree with me. Look at the infrastructure, and you come to the infrastructure of Jharkhand, you come to the infrastructure of Orissa. Only that the quadrilaterals are there. What other is the infrastructure? Right? You can compare. So this infrastructure is related with demand and supply. तो कौटिल्य ने भी उस समय में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात की थी. Yes, yes. तो कौटिल्य ने भी, I am reading out your comments, right? Absolutely correct. So कौटिल्य ने भी किया था, और आज भी वो उतना ही रेलेवेंट है, उतना ही रेलेवेंट है. क्यों? क्योंकि कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव नेशनल स्ट्रेटेजी, क्लियर कट विजन, नेशनल प्रायोरिटीज is very much dependent on what it was in that point of time and what is today. Now, another thing that we today we see the public finance. Yes, very much important. How good the government is in financing, right? Yes, yes. Rajasthan का जो आपने लिखा, right? It's very important. Agriculture. Today, if you read out the articles and you go through the research, public finance, agriculture, they're all related. Why? India is a country which is based on agriculture economy. And there is a linkage between agriculture, manufacturing, and tertiary. So you cannot skip one and land to other, but we have done it. We have ignored in agriculture. We are still ignoring agriculture. The result is agriculture is contributing less to the GDP and tertiary is contributing more. So the linkage between agriculture, the primary, secondary, and tertiary is not correct. And therefore we have not achieved development as yet. But look at to USA, China, Japan, Korea, they've all taken off from agriculture. उन्होंने एग्रीकल्चर को ऑप्टिमाइज किया है, एक्सपैंड किया है, मैक्सिमम यूटिलाइज किया है, बेस्ट एग्रीकल्चर से लिया है, एग्रीकल्चर से रॉ मटेरियल लेके मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को दिया है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ने यूनिट सेटअप किया है, स्मॉल, मीडियम, लार्ज, और उसने एम्प्लॉयमेंट दिया है, और उस एम्प्लॉयमेंट ने टर्शरी सेक्टर किया है, शिपिंग, बैंकिंग, फाइनेंस, ऑल सच थिंग. बट इंडिया में हमने ये किया कि हमने एग्रीकल्चर को इग्नोर करके सीधे सर्विस सेक्टर को टारगेट किया है. लेकिन अगर आप देखेंगे, हाँ, दिस इज व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग, एग्रीकल्चर को देखेंगे, एग्रीकल्चर इज द बैकबोन, स्टिल इट इज द बैक, वी कैन नॉट इग्नोर इट. एंड एट द पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम it was all agriculture, right? Now when we talk about agriculture, what is the dignity of labor? How long the labor would work, whether they will be allowed to give leave, all these things are mentioned there. Dignity of labor, particularly he has mentioned about women. So those women who had lost their husband, they were the only what you say bread earners, were given the most opportunity to work. And very finally there were all superintendent to look for the forest, look for agriculture, look for the labor employment, and how long they are going to work, what should be the what you say condition of working labor, because labor is another factor which adds to the infrastructure. And labor, yes, labor, see, labor does not mean one who is working on the field. I am a labor, but here I would put skilled labor. Okay, I'm a skilled labor, you are a skilled labor. So labor is what, and my efficiency to work in particular enterprise or expertise. I may have expertise in talking or giving lecture. Some might have expertise in painting. Some may have expertise in sculpture, or some might have expertise in the field, right? So what I say here, still here we are working what labor code 2019. अभी amalgamation जो OSH कोड बना रहे हैं, 17 लेबर कोड को एक में कर रहे हैं. गवर्नमेंट का काम यही है ताकि हम ऐसा एक मेमो बनाए, मैग्निफिशिएंट लेबर कोड बनाए, जिससे हम लेबर के पीपीएफ के बारे में बात करें, वर्किंग आवर के बारे में बात करें, मैटरनिटी बेनिफिट के बारे में बात करें, उनके राइट्स के बारे में बात करें. क्यों? क्योंकि हमारा इंडियन इकोनॉमी तो बेस्ड ही है लेबर पे. इंडिया इज अ लेबर इंटेंसिव कंट्री. दूसरे कंट्रीज की तरह जो कैपिटल है वैसा नहीं है. तो अभी भी हम क्या बात करते हैं कि ओएसएचओ कोड में क्या लिखा गया है, क्यों हम लेबर की बात करते हैं? ये लेबर ही नर्व है. इंडियन इकोनॉमी का दूसरा नर्व जो है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के साथ, वो लेबर है. तो सिमिलरली क्वार्टरली ने भी बहुत ज्यादा फोकस किया है लेबर के डिग्निटी के ऊपर, कि कैसे लेबर का डिग्निटी होना चाहिए, किंग को किस तरह से लेबर को प्रमोट करना चाहिए, एंड व्हाई नॉट अ किंग शुड look to the what you say dignity of worker, living condition of the worker, everything he has mentioned, right? So still what we see, yes, fine, here also we are looking to the dignity of labor, because labor is very important. Yes, deforestation, yes, everything, right? So here labor, फॉरेस्ट, अगर फॉरेस्ट की बात करें तो अभी आप क्या बात करेंगे, कुछ स्टेट्स, हाँ, they are all what they lot of forest. So how what you say, what was the idea of cotil and how much it is relevant in today's world, cotil. So when you read, you see that they are the prime source of revenue to the Raja, that is the king, correct? Q. At that point of time, fruit, medicinal plants, okay, creepers, climbers, or woods, sandalwoods, were all under what you say, monopoly of the king, who had the owners on the forest. At that point of time, he had also written that the forest should be divided. जैसे पैसा में है ना, फॉरेस्ट को डिवाइड कर देंगे, कुछ फॉरेस्ट प्रोड्यूस को आप ले सकते हैं, कौन ले सकते, जो ट्राइबल पीपल है, जो इंडिजिनस पीपल है, लेकिन कुछ है प्रोहिबिटेड है, आप नहीं जा सकते हैं, कुछ रिस्ट्रिक्टेड है, राइट? तो कौटिल्य ने उसको भी मेंशन किया, और आज देखिए वी आर ऑल वर्किंग ऑन व्हाट वी हैव टू सेव फॉरेस्ट. व्हाई? वी सी दैट यस देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ क्लाइमेटिक चेंज. Right now winters are what we used to have, starting of winters late month of October, November में भी हमें ठंड नहीं लगती, December first second week हो जाता है, but ठंड कब आती है, February में. So what is happening, पूरा एग्रीकल्चर जो है इस ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की वजह से वो गड़बड़ हो रहा है. So we need to think about sustainable agriculture, forest, mineral resources. Yes, ये मिनरल रिसोर्सेज भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, मेजर सोर्स ऑफ रेवेन्यू टू द गवर्नमेंट. एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आयरन और ये सिल्वर, गोल्ड, मेटल, ये थे मेजर मिनरल रिसोर्स फॉर व्हाट यू से किंग. एंड दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आल्सो मिनरल रिसोर्सेज आर वेरी वेरी important, right? So we are connecting dots that point of time also the entire what you say idea of coexistence was on these what you say basic premises, that are development of infrastructure, demand, supply, technology, agriculture, dignity of labor, forest, all such things, there are very very important. Income and employment. So if you talk about employment, demand, supply, agriculture, dignity of labor, forest, right, they are all going to lead to income and employment. And right now India's important idea is on what, creating income and employment. How can you say, we say they're the fastest growing economy, 3 billion economy, but what about income and employment? There is a huge gap between one who has more resources and one who has less. Inequality is rising. So we cannot claim to be a welfare state, a developed state, where what you say income and employment, they are not stable. And we are facing a lot of problem in income and employment. So there it says what he wrote was that the government should create employment programs. Same here, we are talking about what, that the government should create government employment generation program. Yes. Now here, when he's talking about the what you say income and employment, what he has wrote that the aim of the three main types of economic activity, agriculture, cattle, trade, to generate resource so that people can have income and employment, right? And this is going to create surplus to the people as well as surplus to the government, or that point of time the king, right? So see how beautifully at that point of time he had written. And you know, while I was reading, I found out there were 6 more economists who had done a lot of work on Arthashastra or economy, but their ideas was not transformed. Latest is Kautil idea, which has been written and it is there with us. इनके पहले भी बहुत से लोगों ने लिखा, लेकिन उसका ट्रेस हमारे पास नहीं है. जिन्होंने मेमोराइज किया होगा उन्होंने पास अदर जनरेशन को पास नहीं किया होगा, तो हमारे पास नहीं है. लेकिन बस यही है जो लेटेस्ट है हमारे पास. इसके ऊपर काफी डिबेट रहा है कि ये कौन से पीरियड का है, क्या है. विल नॉट गो इनटू दैट. लेकिन लेटेस्ट जो है, जो आप कह सकते ना कि फाउंडेशनल ट्रीटाइज इकोनॉमिक्स के लिए, ये क्वार्टरली का अर्थशास्त्र ही है, ठीक है। इन्होंने बहुत सी बातें की हैं। फिर इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड, देखिए इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड की बात करेंगे तो आप वेस्टर्न फिलोसफी पढ़ लीजिए, तो जो क्लासिकल थे, जो मर्केंटलिस्ट थे, जिनका आइडिया वाज व्हाट, दैट the wealth of the nation depends upon accumulation of precious metals and international trade. Same was the idea of Cotton, that we should have trade with other country. It will bring fortune to the state or king, and this fortune will lead us to more growth and development. Still we are working in it. क्योंकि ट्रेड जैसे करेंगे, ट्रेड करने से क्या होगा, ट्रेड करने से हमें क्या होगा, अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी, क्या करने के लिए, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए, ठीक है। वर्ल्ड बैंक ने पैसे दिए, हमने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बना दिया। उस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से क्या हुआ, डिफरेंट जो कंट्रीज है, दे आर वेरी मच विलिंग, दे सी व्हाट यू से इंडिया एज अ पोटेंशियल मार्केट टू इन्वेस्ट देयर मनी, ठीक है। उससे क्या हुआ, एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट बढ़ा। एक्सपोर्ट कैसे बढ़ा, तो जैसे ही एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ेगा, लैंड, लेबर, कैपिटल एंड एंटरप्रेन्योर की जरूरत पड़ेगी, 4 फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन। और जैसे आप लैंड यूज करेंगे, आपको रेंट देना होगा, लेबर यूज करेंगे, वेजेस एंड सैलरी देना होगा, राइट। और क्या, कैपिटल तो इंटरेस्ट, और एंटरप्रेन्योर है तो प्रॉफिट। सो आप जो भी प्रोडक्टिविटी, जिस भी फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन से लेंगे, आपको उसको पे करना पड़ेगा, राइट। तो यही आइडिया है। सी द मोर व्हाट यू से इंक्लूसिव यू आर, द मोर विल बी ग्रोथ। कभी भी, कि कोविड ने भी हमें बहुत सिखाया है कि आइसोलेशन में हमारा डेवलपमेंट नहीं हो सकता है। वो दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम यू आल्सो दैट वी शुड बी हार्मनी, हार्मनी में ही काम करना पड़ेगा, राइट। और मैं इसको जो मैंने एक्सपैंड किया, मैं वापस लाती हूँ कि इंडिया इज अ वेलफेयर स्टेट। कौटिल्य ने भी यही कहा कि वेलफेयर, वेलफेयर ह्यूमन का है, एनिमल का भी। वेरी इंटरेस्टिंगली एनिमल लॉज भी है एक सब्जेक्ट लॉ में, ठीक है। तो जस्ट उन्होंने बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट एडवोकेसी की है अनएथिकल एंड एथिकल मेथड की। और उन्होंने कहा कि अर्थशास्त्र इज नॉट जस्ट एन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट कॉन्सेप्ट जो कि फिनेंस, ट्रेड, पब्लिक टैक्स के बारे में बात करेगा, रैदर इट कवर्स मेंटेनेंस ऑफ सोशल ऑर्डर, राइट, increasing economic activity, protection of livelihood, protection of weaker section of the population, prevention of harassment of the subject, consumer protection, and even welfare of the slaves and prisoners. The fact that one of the corners of the state was welfare of the subject should not lead to us to confuse within the welfare of the state. ठीक है, welfare of the state का क्या है, आप डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ द स्टेट पॉलिसीज को देख लीजिए, right. I am having a lecture right now. So directive principle of the state policies को देख लीजिए। तो मैं सिंपल ये बोलूंगी, आप सारे लॉ बैकग्राउंड के होंगे, देखे होंगे। The preamble of the constitution itself says justice, social, economical and political। 3 ये पिलर्स है। कैसे करेंगे, आर्टिकल 39B, 39C आप पढ़िए। What is it? We don't talk about monopoly, right? We don't talk about it. A person should not, an organization should not have concentration of resources. Why? It will not add to the welfare of the people. We should have equal opportunity to participate so that we have what? We have a dignified life. Article 21, the umbrella article जो आप कहते हैं ना, उसी के तहत सारी चीजें आ जाती हैं। Right to health, right to life, right to education, right to food, everything, right? So I'm just quoting and reading out कि ये चीजें नई नहीं है, बहुत पहले से है। वहां king was the supreme monarchy, right? यहाँ the center, जो भी हमारे सेंटर में गवर्नमेंट है वो सुप्रीम है। सो उसको ध्यान में रखना है इन सब बातों का। आप अगर डेवलपमेंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात करें तो एमएसएमई की बात करेंगे, एमएसएमई स्मॉल एंड मीडियम स्केल एक्ट 2026 की बात करेंगे, राइट। यस, गांधीयन इकोनॉमी, करेक्ट। इंक्लूसिव होना है, दैट इज सबको साथ में मिलके चलना है। अगर आप ऐसा नहीं करेंगे तो अगेन देयर विल बी अ ग्रेट गैप बिटवीन हैव्स एंड नॉट हैव्स. वो फिर वही कार्ल मार्क्स का सिद्धांत जो है चला आएगा कि फिर देयर विल बी अ क्लैश, राइट? दैट the clash will lead us nowhere, and it will only be what you say, the idea that we want to be a welfare state. Now this year I am just what you say, compressing it and just moving towards how World Bank, I was mentioning, no, कि World Bank ने 1996 में ही काम करना शुरू किया था. तो World Bank says that institutional structure encourage करता है entrepreneurship को, और ये जो ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज है वो एक पिलर है. यस, ठीक है. देन व्हाट इज अनदर पिलर? अ गुड एजुकेशन सिस्टम, अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ स्किल्ड लेबर. So is it not rhyming with what Kautilya says, what we have right now, and then and World Bank telling all about things? Yes, I'll share, ma'am. I have also, now you have mentioned it, so I'll say that last time when I had this lecture, I incorporated my this Indian traditional knowledge in first module. The traditional knowledge का मैंने include किया है अपने syllabus में. Basically, it's a 5-year integrated code, you understand. लेकिन मैंने पहले ही मॉड्यूल में उसको ऐड कर दिया है और मैंने क्वार्टरली, मैम iksindia.org, if you go you will get lot of book, right? Lot of book. Now here, yes, what another pillar is access to information. ये बहुत important है. ICT, अभी तो मैं हमारा access to information through what? Through this technology. What is this technology? Internet. So all of us are there sitting on one frame discussing things, and vibrant innovative landscape. Innovation is one of the best things that we can think of, right? Just look to the concept of Swiggy, Zomato, Uber and Ola. How easy they have made our life. अभी तो स्विगी जीनी भी है. ऑफिस पहुंचिए, पता चला कुछ सामान आपका नहीं है, स्विगी जीनी कर दीजिए, वो आएगा, आपको ले जाएगा, आपके चीजों को पहुंचा देगा. सो इफिशिएंटली आप वो काम कर पा रहे हैं. यू अग्री विथ मी, डोंट यू? प्लीज लेट मी नो if you agree with me. Right, Chitra ma'am? Yes. So this is it, right? Now क्यों हम बात कर रहे हैं ये इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ IKS? क्योंकि वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है पॉलिसी मेकिंग. हमें आज के दौर में रिकॉग्नाइज करना है ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज को. व्हाई? बिकॉज वी हैव टू फॉर्मुलेट पॉलिसीज, इम्पैक्ट एरियाज, again going back to agriculture, healthcare, environment, education, infrastructure, everything. And when we do not have proper policy, we do not have a pathway to go ahead. Way forward क्या होगा हमारा, हम बता ही नहीं पाएंगे. आप कोई भी रिसर्च प्रपोजल बनाते हैं, कुछ भी आर्टिकल लिखते हैं, आप एक पॉलिसी रिकमेंडेशन जरूर देते हैं, क्योंकि राइट नाउ इट इज वेरी इंस्ट्रक्टिव. ठीक है, ठीक है. वी हैव लॉ, मैंडेटरी, policy, you may not, but still there is a guideline that we should follow. It will lead us achieve some of the goals, not all, but some of the goals. And IKS is also relevant because it has potential impact. मैं वही वापस आऊंगी. Sustainable growth, inclusive growth, incorporating drivers, knowledge systems, and community participation, everything. So it becomes very very important. अभी देखिए इकोनॉमिक इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है, मैंने पहले ही बताया कि बायोडाइवर्सिटी है, हेल्थ है. अभी IPR, IKS जैसे आप देखेंगे ना, इकोनॉमिक्स में लिखिएगा IPR, ठीक है, उसमें पेटेंट्स, कॉपीराइट, ये सब चलाएगा. तो ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्यों भाई? क्योंकि हम वैसे कंट्री है जहाँ पे बासमती राइस, टर्मरिक, नीम, ठीक है, मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स मैक्सिमम ग्रो करते हैं. So we have the traditional knowledge of growing it and preserving it. Why? Because this knowledge of preservation will add to the sustainable growth and development. और इसी क्रम में what we have the GI Act. जोग्राफिकल इंडिकेटर भी टैग करते हैं ना, नैक के लिए चाहिए होता कुछ जीआई है, हम वो फोन पे जीआई लगा के दिखाते कि यस राइट कि वी हैव दिस. Why? Because this is going to add to what I said, the इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट. कुछ केस स्टडीज मैंने मेंशन किया था, जैसे कैसे इंटीग्रेशन हुआ है. सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट जो है, एग्रीकल्चर है आंध्र प्रदेश में, ठीक है, ट्रेडिशनल फार्मिंग, राइट, ट्रेडिशनल फार्मिंग है, इंक्रीज क्रॉप यील्ड है, इन्वायरमेंट इम्पैक्ट है, आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन है केरला में जो हम थेरेपी बोलते हैं, ठीक है, ठीक है. फिर हैंडीक्राफ्ट राजस्थान में है, बिहार में मधुबनी पेंटिंग है, गुजरात में कच्छ की का काम है, बहुत सारी चीजें, दे आर ऑल ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज, राइट. झारखंड में मैं जहाँ रहती हूँ, मेडिसिनल वो जो प्लांट्स होते हैं, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ दिस लीफली वेजिटेबल, एंड दे कंज्यूम इट. We had no idea, but when we are here, we have come to know that in this rainy season, you have this different leafy vegetables. We are very important for BP control, sugar, and all these tribal people, they consume it. They have different techniques of doing it. So their knowledge, traditional knowledge, what? To preserve this, right? With the limited resources, and then to what? It's transmitted to different generation is very, very important, right? So this is very, now again, what is traditional knowledge? I'll not go into it. Yes, when you incorporate traditional knowledge with economics, what you get is good influence, local what you say ideas, and then local economies, trade practices, which are going to provide economic resilience, cultural continuity. Now this resilience word was very, very hot cake after the pandemic. How far you can do it. Now what is the future direction of traditional knowledge in economics per se? I'll say again, incorporate knowledge into curriculum. Yes, I have done it. I would request all of you to incorporate so that our progenies, they come to know what has been our, what you say, heritage tradition, right? Training programs, develop policy framework, conduct programs like this, which are there, very much there, and then promote research and innovation. Research से मैं बोलूँगी, आप please site पे जाइए, ICSSR, World Bank, n number of projects they are doing traditional knowledge के ऊपर, so you can be a part of it. ठीक है. Strategies क्या हो सकते हैं? Effective utilization. क्यों effective utilization? क्योंकि whether it is tangible wealth or intangible wealth, वो limited ही है. और as a human being, we want everything more. The more we have, the more we are happy, right? And this slogan, you know, ye dil mange more. So we always want more because it will give us what? And satisfaction that I have this thing, tangible or intangible. I have a lot of it, and it makes me happy, right? So strategy is to have effective utilization. Why? It will foster collaboration between different technical knowledge, modern science, implement pilot projects, test integration, and encourage community-led initiative. कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. अभी आप लॉ स्कूल हैं तो आप देखेंगे कि मैंडेटरी हो जाता है आपके लिए लीगल एड बनाना. क्यों? कैसे आप अपने नॉलेज को, आप अपनी सर्विस को सोसाइटी को वापस देंगे. इट इज नॉट अबाउट यू, इट्स ऑल अबाउट अस, राइट? It's not about you, it's all about us. So it becomes very important for us to see traditional knowledge as see one great idea where human endeavor can achieve the purusharth. I started with this philosophy, no? So I just want to now, what is our purusharth? It's dharma, artha, kam, and moksha. Now this, when you talk about dharma, artha, kam, they all contribute to the dharma, right? Your duty, your righteousness. And earth, it's not about wealth, it's about livelihood. right? It's about livelihood. So, however, we are very different people, but our pursuits should be one. The objective of us should be इट्स शुड बी, देखिए मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ, धर्म होना चाहिए, अर्थ होना चाहिए, काम होना चाहिए, मोक्ष। लास्ट में हम क्या बोलते हैं, आई हैव ऑल ऑफ इट। मेरा भी कि बच्चे सेटल हो जाए, ये काम हो जाए, हमारे पेरेंट्स से आई एम डन। दे ऑल आर before the Almighty. Yes, we have all gone through the four phases. So it's anything that you take, it has a philosophy. You study law, you have jurisprudence, right? I am discussing about Indian jurisprudence. When you talk about Adam Smith, nobody knows he's also father of economics, but he is the one who has contributed a lot to the jurisprudence, but he's not celebrator author of law. मॉरल सेंटिमेंट्स एडम स्मिथ का पढ़िए, आपको पता चलेगा कितनी खूबसूरती से उन्होंने इंक्वायरी इनटू द वेल्थ ऑफ नेशन जो लिखा है, उसमें बस स्टेजेस के बारे में डिस्कस किया है कि नोमैडिक स्टेज से हम कैसे आते हैं एक फ्यूडल स्टेट में, जहां हम ओनरशिप की बात करते हैं, इनहेरिटेंस की बात करते हैं, फिर लॉ बनाते हैं, एंड कैसे ट्रांजेंड्स करते रहते हैं फ्रॉम वन ट्रेडिशन टू one society to another. So what I would say at last is that such initiatives are very much welcoming, and whether you talk about your own traditional knowledge or you talk about
I think there is a network issue.
Yes,
Shweta
yes,
ma'am,
yes. Disconnected,
hello. Shweta ma'am is not audible.
Participants, please wait for a while. I think there is a network issue. Yes, Shweta madam, over to you. Shweta ma'am, are you there?
I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible.
Yes, yes, madam. You are it.
Sir, am I internet got connected?
No, 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 madam.
Okay. Sir, I think I've concluded it. I'm open for the questions. Any one of you have?
Participant, if you have any question, you can raise your hand.
Yes, I
Participant,
am
please
open to
raise
the
your hand.
questions.
Participant, you can raise your hand also. Dr. Chitra.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
There is
Madam?
a question in the chat box. Couple of questions are there in the chat box.
Chat box? Okay,
Please
let me
refer
see,
few
sir.
Indian scholars of ancient India who contributed in the field of economics other than Chanakya.
Yeah, what was the concept of skill over? This is what is spillover?
Spillover
Relevance
effect.
in today's capacity. Right. See, it talks about practical capabilities. Okay. Then your knowledge, what knowledge you have, theoretical knowledge or any knowledge that you have, and how you can just give it back to the society. Right. One very important thing in economics is it is the trickle down effect. You talk about skills, skill over, it is the trickle down effect. The pyramid from the bottom to top, no, from top to bottom, how it comes to the society back again, right? So I was referring to the linkage primary, secondary, and tertiary. Whether tertiary can give back to manufacturing and primary, just let me know. Is it possible? Tertiary sector, can it give back to the primary sector back again? Yes, it can give in the form of research and development. जो टर्शरी सेक्टर है, सर्विस सेक्टर है, वो रिसर्च और डेवलपमेंट के रूप में वापस से मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और एग्रीकल्चर को दे सकता है. रिसर्च और डेवलपमेंट ही तो टर्शरी थर्ड पिलर है. तो बिल्कुल, अगर स्कॉलर्स, बहुत से स्कॉलर्स ने किया, अगर हम बात करेंगे, अभी आपने किसी ने गांधीयन इकोनॉमिक्स में बात की थी, तो हाँ, इंक्लूसिवनेस बिल्कुल बहुत जरूरी है. उसके बिना आप आइसोलेशन में कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं. अगर आप बात करेंगे इकोनॉमिक्स, B.R. Ambedkar, do you know he was a great economist? He was the person who has done his PhD degree from Harvard Law School, right?
Yes.
Or he is the person known for the concept of RBI. Ambedkar का इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़िए, सिर्फ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के लिए नहीं है, वो बहुत ही प्रोमिनेंट इकोनॉमिस्ट थे. और अगर अंबेडकर की बात करेंगे तो आप देखेंगे अंबेडकर ने स्टेट के लिए, सेंटर के लिए, ठीक है, और जो भी आप डीपीएसपी भी बात करेंगे, उनका बहुत बड़ा रोल रहा है, क्योंकि ही हैड डन लॉट ऑफ थिंग, 1%, और ही वाज द वन बिहाइंड द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ व्हाट यू से रोल ऑफ मनी, right? How India should print the money, what should be the procedure, lot of things. Just read about Ambedkar. He is one of the very prominent economist. लेकिन we don't know, as I said, कि जैसे एडम स्मिथ को, फिर पीसी महानालोबिस को लीजिए, वो सेकंड जो इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन का प्लान था, सेकंड 5 ईयर प्लान, बहुत उन्होंने, दादा भाई नारोजी को लीजिए, तो एक सिर्फ स्टैट्स से रिलेटेड नहीं है उनका. मोस्टली जो दे वांटेड टू इनकम पास वाज कि ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट कैसे होगा, राइट? ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट कैसे होगा. तो ऐसे बहुत से लोग हैं जिनको हम रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करते हैं, उनका एक देखते हैं, लेकिन पीछे में आप देखेंगे ना, जितने भी पॉलिटिकल थिंकर्स रहे हैं, जितने भी बिग पीपल दे हैव अ बैकग्राउंड ऑफ दिस, एंड अंबेडकर इज वन ऑफ देम. इज नॉट ओनली फादर ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, वन पर्सन who had written lot many thing about economics, and he was the first person to get PhD degree from abroad in economics.
अनिजी हो रहा था लेके के ब्रेन स्ट्रोक.
Any other question? Kalpesh sir, any other question? I can't see.
Yeah, I will. Manish, Manish Kupchandani. This is the last
ये
question,
उनका
then we'll
question
close.
क्या?
Manish,
हाँ हाँ, मुझे दिख नहीं रहा उनका question.
no, I have unmuted
He
him.
has raised
Manish.
the hand. Manish.
What are the best teaching of political economy? Sir, I am still reading. It is a very, what to say, this is momentous. If you read something, you forget something. So what you have to incorporate is how far you are incorporating this book in your day-to-day lecture or discussion, right? So best thing I would say that I have come across is it's about the philosophy, the dharma, right? Darshan, Chanakya, then the welfare of the state, the income and employment, the dignity of labor, all these things, because I'm going to relate it to the macroeconomics of our economy, right? So this is my take. You might be agreeing with other things that he has written, so it would be your take. And I would say please visit to iksindia.org.in. You will get a lot of books people are writing and putting there, lot of programs, and everything is happening. And also Kalpesh sir, he can run so many programs on IKS sequels.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Such a nice session sir has organized.
No, I enjoy his sessions, ma'am.
I think we are
So I
done with
think
all the questions. Yes, ma'am. Over to Dr. Preeti.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this beautiful session. As you have explained Indian knowledge system and economic from starting, means you have start your lecture with the Sanskrit quotation, Vidya Dhanam Sarvadhan Pradhanam. So, agar being a faculty members, we have to learn first Indian knowledge system, then we have to convey this to our students. And the takeaway from today's lecture is कि we should start IKS in our syllabus. We have to add this in our curricula. And if we want some extra knowledge related to Indian knowledge system, we can Google on India, iksindia.org. I'm right, ma'am?
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
In the presentation link slides I have mentioned. If not, I will just share the link
Okay, fine,
and
ma'am.
share it to Kalpesh.
Yes. As ma'am has told in today's lecture that we हमने चाणक्य के बारे में बहुत सुना है, उनके अर्थशास्त्र के बारे में बहुत सुना है. But the thing is that कि how we can relate these things with today's era means जैसे एक राजा को अपनी प्रजा के बारे में सोचना होता है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर देखना है, एग्रीकल्चर देखना है. These things are in our system from ancient time. Nowadays we are only polishing these things ki how we can work for India and how we can make Viksit Bharat till 2047, and we are the one who can contribute in that vision of our prime minister sir, and hope we will all do that. So we are very thankful to you, ma'am, and in this lecture today we have
Thank you so
learned
much,
a
ma'am.
lot. And
Thank you so much, ma'am.
thank you, ma'am. And along with that, I would like to say thank you to Kalpesh sir to provide us such a good opportunity to know about Indian knowledge system and to relate it with other subjects. And Law Teachers India is a very good platform who understand the need of R. And he is planning his capacity building programs align with the current things. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you all the participants that you have spent your time in this lecture and you learn with the patience. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we will meet again with another topic related to Indian knowledge system.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jai
Thank you,
Hind.
madam.
Thank you so much. See, this is the book, the Arthashastra by Kautilya. This is the Penguin Classic. You can have this one, right? The Arthashastra, Kautilya Arthashastra, Penguin Classic. You can have. There are other editions as well, so you can search it. You will get in Amazon, Flipkart, and you can just have it for your one.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you.